Welcome to week 3. It's time to lock in. Last week I went over a new diet plan, and so far so good. Although I do have to get better about remembering which days I need to do low carb and which days I don't. Oh crap. If you missed it, you can check out the video here. In this series, besides just going over my runs and training for the week, I want to spend some time and go over some of the things I'm changing up for this training block that I may or may not have done that led me to my not so great marathon. So this week, I actually want to talk about pacing and priorities and why I think it's important not to necessarily focus on just the times, but as far as effort level and all that kind of stuff. So I'll go into that later in the video, maybe towards the end. So be sure to stick around for that. But nonetheless, let's get into our first run of the week. All right, today is day 1, week 3. Starting off with some tempo 400s. So 1 mile at easy pace and quarter mile at 10 something, 10:15. I'll put on the screen somewhere. But testing out the new Mega Blast. So it should be a good way to put it to the test because it's supposed to be a do-it-all shoe. And let's see if it'll dethrone my lovely shoe, Superblast 2. Alright, let's get it. That is week 3, day 1 done. 400 meter repeats in the Mega Blast. Fantastic run. It was every 400 meters was 10:15, which I have done in the past. It's definitely challenging now, but I felt like finally I can pick up the speed a little bit. So some of them are actually going at 9:45 just because I was feeling good. I felt like I can hold that pace. Granted, I was definitely breathing heavy, but this is the kind of fast runs you gotta push yourself, right? So glad to get it done. I know it's saying that my easy pace, my zone 2 should be like 12 something. It's not. I'm still in the 13th. So tomorrow is another easy run for me. It's 2.75 miles. And I'm going to make sure that one is also fully easy, just because today was a tough workout, but I'm glad to get it done and can't wait for the easy day. So let's keep going. All right, welcome to day 2 of week 3. Today was 2.75 miles at an easy pace, and I'm doing 3 miles, and I'm running in the Mega Blast. So I felt like I want to go a little bit faster. I think these shoes, they're not quite as soft as people make it out to be. I mean, they're softer than the Superblast, but they're not quite as soft as like the Vomero Pluses. But they do make you want to pick up the speed, and that's what happens. So overall, a good workout. Heart rate definitely shot up really high, but I think average pace was like 12:50, so not too bad. But yeah, tomorrow is over and under of Ks, so that should be where I put this test. Well, that's where I will put this shoe to the test. All right, welcome to day 3. Today we have some 1 kilometer repeats, or over and under rather. It's a warm-up, 1 kilometer at 11:50, and then another kilometer at 11:20, then times 2. So should be a good one. Taking the easy run, actual easy. I'm a little bit more tired today. All right, that is 1 kilometer over and under done. Overall, good workout. I think on my faster 11:20, I went faster than that. I went 11:10. It felt good, and I feel like I can hold the pace. But definitely when I had to back off a little bit for the next K at around 11:50, I stayed true to that because I didn't want to push it too hard. But it's good because I think this is where I kind of was towards the end of my marathon prep. So it feels good that I can sort of be back to where I was at the end of my marathon prep. Obviously, it's a long way to go. A lot of improvements need to be made, but it's a good sign because I'm getting my fitness back slowly and steadily. So we're gonna keep it going. All right, welcome to week 3, day 4. Yeah, day 4. Today we have an easy run, 4.5 miles. Just taking a quick break. I'm actually halfway through, just to kind of catch my breath. It is hot and heart rate's spiking up again. So I'm gonna bring it down and continue to run. But so far so good. Let's keep going. All right, that is a workout completed. About an hour to do the whole thing, 4.5 miles. Not bad. My easy pace is still around 13 something, and this heat doesn't help. It's like 84 degrees right now, so. But nonetheless, glad to get it done. And tomorrow is a long run. All right, let's get into some podcast mode. So, as you guys can see, overall, good week for me. I did struggle a little bit around my zone 2 during the hotter days, but overall, I felt really, really good this week. I kind of feel my fitness coming back to where it was before. Not quite at 100% that I left it at, but still, it's very encouraging for me. I also want to apologize. I didn't get a lot of B-roll and stuff like that during my long run. It was just one of those runs where I just kind of wanted to be out there and just run and not focus on capturing all that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe I was just kind of just having a day where I just wanted to really go at it. And also the day was also very, very nice. That morning was very beautiful. So I just kind of want to take in that moment. So I do apologize, but at the same time, I'm happy I did it. Nonetheless, what I want to talk about today is around, is around my pacing and target levels. So during my first training plan for my first marathon, I was so hyper fixated on my pacing, and not the pacing that I wanted to set it at, but rather the pacing that the training plan had told me to be at. So whether it was my zone 2, where it's thought that my pacing should be a lot faster than even my marathon pace, I was just like, okay, I guess I have improved, so maybe I should amp up my zone 2. And that was the wrong way to approach it, because my zone 2 was not at, I think it was 11:20 that it was saying it should be at. It was not even close to that. It was still around the 12 minutes 30, 12 minutes 30 second mile, whatever pacing. That's where it should have been at, and that's where I should have kept my zone 2. But I was so like, yeah, you know what, I could run faster. And my zone 2 did turn into zone 3 and zone 4, right? Same thing with my speedier stuff. There were moments where I felt like it was a little too fast for me. And when I don't meet my pacing targets, whether it's too fast or too slow, I just feel like I didn't have a good run. At the end of the run, I would just be like, well, that was fine. Or that was a zone 2, that was an easy day. It didn't feel like it. I'm so tired after that day. So what I want to do this time around, especially for my new training plan, is to really focus around my effort level. I know obviously I'm going to be looking at my pacing, especially my training plan for my faster stuff, because I do want to reach the paces that it's saying, but I'm going to be so much more hyper focused on whether or not I'm giving it my 80%, my 90%, my 100% in some of the runs, right? I think that's more important for me. That's the true measurement of where I am athletically and at fitness level wise. And the most important part of that is also for my zone 2 runs. I know I definitely thought my zone 2 was faster than it really needed to be. And so this time around, I'm really going to be hyper focused on, does what I'm doing now feel easy? So as you guys can see, during my easy runs for this week, there was some times where I was running slower, quote unquote, 13:30 per mile or whatever. And I felt, my heart rate was super high because I was obviously in the heat, and that was increasing my body temperature, and also that was increasing my heart rate. But I felt good. I didn't feel like this was a hard run. I felt very relaxed and easy. So I just kind of kept up with it. Even though my heart rate was in the 160s or 165 for those zone 2s, I felt fine. So I said, you know what? I felt good. So that's one of the things I want to change for this training plan, is to really focus on trying to get better at looking at my effort level for everything and not be hyper focused on pacing itself. That's where I think it will be the biggest difference for me, because that way I can really truly measure where I'm at, my fitness level wise. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking about as I go forward. I know this was something I should have learned a long time ago, but I'm glad I'm learning it now, because that way I can improve upon it, and I'm also starting it early on. But it should be nonetheless a very good training plan. And of course, I will keep you guys updated with how that's going as well, week over week, and see if that's working for me or not. Until then, I will see you guys next time.